All right, good evening, everybody. This is iBUG Buzz for May 19th, 2025, episode 685. How exciting. I'm Sandhya Brown. I will be facilitating with our very own iBUG guy, Mr. iBUG guy, and his name is Michael McCulloch. Yes, Michael McCulloch. All right, so where are we? This is an open forum for anybody with questions about your iPhone or other related devices. We can talk about voiceover gestures. We talk about accessories. I don't need to tell you all of them because there are too many to name. And let's see, we don't do Windows. And well, we would like to welcome everybody that is here on this call right now and those who will be listening to the recorded podcast. So grateful that you are here, and this is where you can ask all kinds of questions and get real-time answers. So we are going to quickly review some iBUG news. Ready for iBUG news? Okay, iBUG news. So at the midpoint, we're going to have our big reveal for the movie. So stay around at the top of the hour, the halftime show, and test your knowledge of movie trivia and try to guess the movie. Then, after this call, we'll have the After Buzz, very appropriately named, and that's where we talk about all things not related to technology and just hang out and get to know each other. So I hope you'll come for that right after this call. Then, okay, so next week is Memorial Day. We are taking a break, a holiday. So go out and enjoy, and we will see you the following week. Then, Tuesday, we have the Mac Buzz from 5 to 6. All questions relating to your Mac come there. Then, on Wednesday, it's Android Insight. All questions relating to Google devices and running on the Android platform are fair game. Even talk about the A-Lady there. Thursday, we will not have It's iBUG's Life. It has been postponed by 1 week. Then we have the movie on Friday. iBUG, not the virtual movies. We will find out what that is at the midpoint. So the movie starts at 8. Social time at 7:15. Talk about Dame Bat Tune and jokes and other general argle-bargle. After the movie, we'll have a discussion and trivia. And then we have another very special event on Saturday, iBUG Apple Workshop from 2 to 4. And this is our anniversary celebration. We are going to be 14 years old. 14 years old. We'll be ready to drive pretty soon. Okay. So, that's from 2 to 4. Come for entertainment, song and dance, and all kinds of good stuff. Door prizes. And we will... Oh, well, hold on. So that comes that. And then also we'll be doing our drawing. As you have heard, we are a nonprofit. We're doing the iBUG Tech Shopping Spree of $500. $10 buys you a chance to win $500 of your choice at the Apple Store, Google Play, or Amazon. Okay. So all the information is on our website. You can buy tickets up until May 23rd. So please come and support us. Now, and for all this other information that I just covered and way more, visit our website at ibugtoday.org. Now, we're going to go around and say who you are, where you're from, and if you're here for the first time, let me know that too as well. All right? Who would like to go? Okay. I got...
Okay.
This is Pete.
All right. Welcome, Pete.
Can I mention the talent showcase, or is it too soon?
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Just a heads up, everybody, coming up on August 2nd, which is a Saturday night unplugged event in August, from 7 until 9 p.m., we'll have our second annual iBUG's Got Talent Showcase. An invitation went out, so start getting your talent together and get that recording together. You've got till June 15th to submit your entry. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, keep going.
Liz, Fort Worth.
Welcome.
Ned from Texas.
Welcome.
Susan from Houston.
Hey, Susan.
Hey.
Pat from Ohio.
Pat and Paul, welcome.
Columbus and Cleveland,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Ed in Georgetown, Ontario.
Welcome.
Linda from Humble.
Maryland.
Hey, Linda, and
Valencia from Maryland.
hey, welcome.
Vincent in New Jersey.
Vincent. Let's keep it
Deb from
moving.
Kansas.
Hey, Deb. Welcome.
Hi.
Randy, North Carolina.
Welcome, welcome.
Cynthia
Jody from
from
New Hampshire.
Houston.
Cynthia, Jody, welcome.
Amanda,
Leslie.
California.
Go.
Now you're unmuted.
Go ahead.
Bob from Wisconsin.
Hey there, welcome.
Thank you.
Who else we got?
Very good.
Welcome.
Bridget.
All right, welcome.
Shazadi Valent, Ontario.
Hey, Shazadi, welcome. Okay, anybody else?
Just go enjoy your thing.
All right, anybody else? Julie, take care of that. Mute. Okay. All right, once you've announced yourself, go back on mute. Okay, anybody else? Who you are, where you're from? Okay. Okay.
Brian
So
from Ontario.
now we are ready to get started. I didn't hear any first-time callers, did I? If you're here for the first time, let me know, please. Say your name. All right. Okay, so who would like to ask the first question? You say your name, wait to be recognized, and we will go from there. Who'd like to go first?
Dawn from Houston.
Yes, go ahead, Dawn.
I want to know how to delete. Okay, in my phone, it says 567 items. So how do I delete? Stop from saying the 500 and whatever.
And you see this when? On your phone
Like
app?
when I scroll down to my phone, like to the phone app,
Uh-huh. Okay.
and you can go through your call list or whatever, but at the end it always say 500 and something calls or something.
All right. All right. Items, maybe. Okay. Who would like to help
Yeah, items.
Dawn? Who would like to help her out? Why does she have 567 items? Any thought? What it could be?
This is Jody.
Go, Jody.
Yes, hi, Dawn. One thing that you can do is go to settings and then go to your phone app. So go down all the way to the bottom where it says apps, tap on that, go to phone because they're in alphabetical order. And it seems to me that you can have your recents deleted after a certain number of days. And you might decide to do that. And then that will clean them out automatically for you. You know, 30 days or however long it is. I'm not sure.
Okay. Thank you.
So I scroll to settings.
Go to settings and go all the way to the bottom where it says apps, tap on apps, and then go down to phone. They're in alphabetical order, and you can go to the index on the scroll bar and keep swiping till you get to P, and then go to phone. And it seems to me that there's time limit. Same thing with messages. After a certain amount of time, it will automatically delete, either your phone calls or your message. Either way.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. All right. Next question. Who would like to go? Jenner or anybody with the question?
Linda.
Go, Linda.
Whenever my notifications come on, they don't finish talking, and then it says screen lock. How do I get that to stop?
This is Jake.
Go, Jake.
Hello. Yeah, I have that exact same problem, and that is a huge glitch on the lock screen. That's a glitch. The only way you can remedy that is if you move.
Keep going.
Is if you move over to show notifications. And
hang on, Jake. Come back in. Okay, guys. Please remember, if you're not speaking, stay on mute. Okay, come back, Jake.
That's a glitch within the lock screen, and the only way to remedy that is to move over to show notifications and view the notifications that way.
Okay. Linda, hope that helped. Okay. All right. Next question.
This is Ed.
Go ahead.
I have a failing server, and it's to do with when I forward something. It's a server that takes care of forwarding something to somebody else, and that server is failing. And I understand that the only advice I got, I went into I guess it was help in I don't know what app it is, but they said just choose another server. But how would I choose a server and relate it to the forwarding server. Like, I just don't understand what the steps are. Does anybody have any ideas?
Okay, hang on. We kind of talked about this issue before, right? Last time we were talking about you couldn't forward to a certain person.
Yeah,
Was
when
that
I
the
found
issue?
out, it's a server problem, and then
Okay.
I looked in. I was going through through settings, and I found an area where it shows that each individual thing that you do in the mail has a different server. It's got each one differently set up to work on whatever function you're doing,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
so I've come to the conclusion that the one that takes care of the forwarding is not working properly.
Okay.
And the reason I deducted that was I can forward something from my iPhone to my wife's iPad, which I guess is just in our house, but I can't forward it out to somebody else.
All right. Let's open it
Okay.
up. Let's see. Anybody? Anything? Any different thoughts than what we had last time? Choosing a server for outgoing mail, I guess. Well, while people are thinking, are you able to send email out, Ed?
Yes, I can send emails out as long as I don't forward something.
Okay.
I can't forward the iBUG out to somebody else.
All right.
Pete,
Go, Pete.
I must admit I have never seen any reference to a server being specifically dedicated towards forwarding an email. I see incoming and outgoing server settings. Even those are a little bit confounding for my intellect. But Ed, I'm afraid I don't know anything about a forwarding server. Where did you get that from? Settings?
It's in settings. I looked under in the email, and I was searching it around there under, oh, I forget what the heading was, but it dropped down, and then it listed all of the different functions, and each one had had a server listed for it, and
Okay.
it got to the where it said forward, and I can't remember what it said, I can't remember what the reading was, but it was sort of different than everybody else, all of the other ones. So I don't know what's gone wrong. But
Okay, hang on. Ed, wondering. Oh, sorry, Pete. Did you have more?
No, I'm flummoxed.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have any thoughts for Ed? Because I have one other thought, and then we'll move on.
This is Deb.
Go, Deb.
So I'm wondering if it's some sort of a bug maybe in some of the newer update or whatever. I don't know how long it's been going on, but I've noticed a few times in my mail when it's getting mail, I'll see a server error and it says something about try again later or something, and it does come eventually, but I've seen a server error as well, but that's with incoming mail, not forwarding. So I wonder if it's some sort of a bug within the updates or something. I don't know for sure, just a guess.
All right. Okay, one more thought, and then we're kind of
This is
not.
Paul.
Go, Paul.
Could this be something to do with your carrier? Because they have the settings for specific, incoming and outgoing and all that. It could be related to that.
Okay. And then the one other thought I had, Ed, was just pick another server. When you get that error message, it gives you, if I remember, I've seen other times when my server didn't work or whatever, and then you can pick from different things. So I'm wondering if you're seeing other options. Just pick one and see if that works.
Where do I look for the different servers?
When you get the error message, it'll say, there are other, do you want to use this or this? At least I've seen that before.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Good luck. Yeah, very frustrating.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next.
This is Ned.
Go, Ned, and then Jody.
Yes, this is going back to Linda's issue and Jake's answer. I'm having the same problem. So where do I find notifications? And once I get there, what do I do?
All right. Who would like to help Ned out? Jake or anybody else want to help Ned?
This is Jake. I'll take the question.
Go ahead. Go, Ned. Go, Jake. Yeah.
When you get the notification, what you can do is you can swipe right on your lock screen after the notifications that you're seeing, and it'll say show notifications button. When you double tap that, what it'll do is it'll bring up the recent notifications that you have, and then you can interact with the notifications that way, and it won't cut you off. But as of right now, what you should be able to do is just double tap on your notifications as they come in. But with this update, it's cut it off. So you have to open your phone, unlock it, and go to show notifications button, double tap on that, and you'll be able to see all your notifications that way.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jake. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Okay, go, Linda.
It was
no, Jody. Go, Jody.
Yeah. So I wanted to do a follow-up for Dawn. I went to the phone app, and there is no way where that you can change the number of times. I think it's only in messages that you can change the time when things are deleted from your recents list. But I looked at my recent list, and the last phone call on my recents list was January. So there must be some cutoff that your provider has automatically. I'm wondering when it said 500 and whatever items, I wonder if you were looking at your contacts tab on your phone app. That would list the number of contacts that you have. So that could be what you're seeing for the 500 plus items.
This is John.
This is Dawn from Houston.
Okay, hang on. Okay, go, John.
So just to clarify, Dawn, the number, as Jody pointed out, may refer to the number of contacts, because when I go through my contacts, there are things like there's a search button, a section index, and towards the bottom, it says how many numbers of contacts you have. Now, you don't want to delete your contacts, but it's just letting you know how many contacts you have. But if you're referring to your call log history, like how many calls incoming or outgoing,
yes.
You want to, on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there are different tabs. There's voicemail, favorites, etc. You want to swipe from right to left until you get to the recent tab. And you'll know when it's selected because VoiceOver will say selected after you tap on it. Then on the top left-hand corner of your screen, there's an edit button. After you tap the edit button, one of the options, aside from dismiss context menu, there should be a select button. And when you tap select, then from the top of your screen, when you swipe left to right, there's a button. I think it's called all recent or something like that. When you tap on that, a dialog will ask if you want to confirm that you want to delete all your recent call history. And then when you double tap on that, it clears all of them so that you don't have to manually delete all of those one by one.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right. One other thought. I personally thought that whenever it says the number of new items or whatever, I thought it referred to voicemail. And because when I start deleting my voicemail, then my number goes down. So they check that out. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you.
This is Jody.
Go.
Yeah, just as a follow-up, you don't want too many, you don't want to fill your voicemail because then there's a maximum allowed by your carrier. So you might want to go in and delete voicemails if you're not going to need them anymore. Just swipe down once or swipe down until it says delete and then do a finger double tap. Same thing with recents. If you have a phone number that you don't want in your recents, you can swipe down until it says delete and delete it too.
Okay. Very good. Now, new topic, please. Who wants to go?
Raheel.
Go, Raheel.
Sorry, I have bronchitis and I'm wheezing. But anyway, is there a way to prevent scam calls? Because number one, if I turn on silence on unknown callers, that won't work. Because what if I need to get a call from my doctors concerning my inhaler or concerning my whatever needs to be my concern? What if,
right?
And number two, if there's a way that, I could prevent scammers from calling me, that'd be, good because I'm not dealing with that.
Okay, good question. Who'd like to go and help Rahil?
Liz?
Go, Liz.
I do have my silence unknown callers. Anybody that I need to receive calls from, I'll save them to my contacts. If they don't leave me a voicemail, so I don't know who they are, then they're just, out of luck. They need to leave me a message telling me who they are, and then I save them to contacts because there is no real good way of blocking scams. I mean, you have to flag each one every time.
The problem with that is, though,
hang on. Say your name.
it's Raheel.
Okay, go ahead.
The problem with that is, though, it's impossible to save your contacts. So they could call from, for example, ending in 4000. That's the hospital main number that they could be calling me from. Sometimes the phone system doesn't register the ending in 7500, the office phone number. Sometimes it comes up as 2624000 because it can't always come up with the office number exactly.
Okay, let's hang on. Anybody else want to help Rahil out?
This is Jake. I have a comment.
Pat. Go Jake and Pat. Jake.
If you don't mind me asking, what kind of carrier do you use?
I use T-Mobile.
Okay, they have a really good app. It's called Scam Shield. I have the app. All you gotta do is download it and put it on your phone. And the minute you put it on, all them calls, you turn that on, all those scam calls are gonna stop. I have that app, and I barely get any spam calls whatsoever. And I'm not even kidding you.
Very good. Okay, go, Pat.
I was going to say, check with your carrier. They may have an app or a service that you can add on your account.
Very good. It is very good. All right, you're on your way, Rahil. Thank you. Okay, let's go.
Randy, I have one.
Okay, Randy, go.
One idea is you can go to your recent list, and if it's a call you just recently got to be at the top of the list. Just do a flick down to here, more info. Go to more info. That'll bring up a screen in case you want to save it or anything. But way down at the bottom, at the contact sheet that it brings up, you'll say block caller, and that specific number will be blocked.
All right, good job. Okay, I thought I heard one more person.
Valencia.
Go, Valencia.
I wanted to add for text messages, if you copy the text message and send it to 7726, which spells out spam, that's supposed to also help them to not contact you as well.
Ooh.
I'm with Verizon Wireless, so I'm not sure if it's specific to carrier, but I don't believe it is. And they'll send you an automated message back saying to send them the number, or sometimes it comes through as an email address from the sender. And you can copy that and send that to them as well. And they're supposed to help with their security and, I guess, flag that particular person or entity and keep them from sending out spam text messages, because I get those a lot as well.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go. Next, who has got a new question?
Bridge.
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Bridge.
Uh-huh.
Yes, for the last week, when I get a text, it's not announcing it. Usually it would announce it, so I know, but now it's not. So I don't know what's wrong.
All right. Who would like to help Bridget? Her. It is not saying like Sandhya called you or something like that?
Yeah.
Text message. You have a text message. Okay. Anybody help?
Pat.
Go ahead, Pat.
Go to notifications to messaging and make sure your notifications are on, or under the text message screen, like if it was Sandhya, flip up to see if maybe you actually turned off notifications for just one individual. And you can tap on it when it says that, and it'll change it back to notifications if it's just an individual.
Okay, very good. Yes, Bridget?
Thank
Okay, go, Robert.
Even if they're turned on in notifications, you might toggle them off and back on and see if that causes them to start behaving themselves again.
Okay, good. Thank you.
This
Right.
is Pete.
Go.
I just wanted to be a little more specific for Bridget. When they say go to notifications, Bridget, what you need to do is first open your settings app, double tap on it to open it on your main screen. Then if you flick down, you'll find notifications. That's where they're talking about. So double tap on notifications, and then you can flick down to your messages notifications and be sure that they're turned on. Just wanted to give you some guidance on how to get there.
All right. Thank you. Let's
This
go.
is Shazadi.
Next. Go, Shazadi.
Just one last thing I wanted to add, just in case none of these things work, just shut down your phone for 20 seconds, turn it back on. That fixes many of the iPhone problems that I have. So that should help with many of the other problems. Just shut off your iPhone, leave it for 20 seconds, then turn it back on. It resolves many of the issues.
There was
Good.
a button, unmute my audio.
Okay, hold on, guys. We got an open mic. Take that, Julie. All right, let's go. Next. Who we got?
Well,
What's your next question? New topic. Let's go.
Valencia?
Go ahead.
Okay. Now, this action is not new to VoiceOver, but I'm still trying to figure out exactly what it does. I noticed it in Messages and Safari. When you flick a finger up or down, it'll say drag item, and I'm still unclear as to what that action actually does.
Okay, who would like to help Valencia out with drag item?
Robert?
Raheel?
No, Robert.
I've only ever seen that item if you're in edit mode, and its purpose is to let you move an app or something on the screen to a different position using the drag and drop feature. That's the only time I've ever seen that prompt.
Okay,
Raheel?
go ahead.
So to drag an item, you just swipe down and you double tap, and then until you hear a little like 3 little bongs, until you, and then you could move it or create a folder or do what you want to do with an item.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go.
This is
Keep
John.
going. Go, John.
Just one clarification thing. So, what Raheel said is right. You can drag in terms of rearranging the order of items, whether it's messages or bookmarks in Safari. But there's also drag. I know that Pete brought this up. Like, I think it might have been in one of his iBytes or something, in which you can drag a message. But the problem I think he mentioned is that when you drag it, sometimes it goes somewhere and you don't know where it goes, and it's kind of hard to get it back. So just a caution that you can drag messages, but because I haven't played around with it, I don't know where if it's difficult to get the message back. So unless you know someone who's actually played around with it, I'd probably avoid using that until you're familiar with it.
Okay. Any other thoughts on dragging?
This is Shazadi here.
Go.
And this dragging thing that everyone is discussing, if you want to learn, go to the Tips app in your iPhone. It should be on your second page, and type in drag, and it should tell you how to drag, what to do with it. It has excellent tips on all that for you, or any other feature with the iPhone.
Okay, very good. Okay, who's next?
This is Mary Alice.
Go, Mary Alice.
When I go on my phone and try to use Zoom on my phone, it's a 16E. I cannot find the mute and unmute on Zoom. I was wondering if there's any way that I can get it on there. It's just not there.
All right. Anybody? The mute button on the Zoom, in Zoom.
This is Raheel.
Hang on, Raheel. Go, Pat.
Are you using the Zoom app itself?
Yes, on my phone.
Okay. The mute button is usually towards the bottom left of the screen, depending on how many different things the host has turned on. Most of the time, it's towards the bottom left. So if you go at the bottom of the screen and tap in the bottom left, see what's down there. And if it isn't mute, swipe right or swipe left till you hear mute.
Yes, I've done that. I know that it's on the bottom left, and I've tried to swipe different ways, and it says I can't unmute, and I don't know why.
This is Pat.
Go, Pat.
Sometimes when they are recording, a pop-up will be on your screen and you have to say you want to leave or okay if you want to stay on the call. So you cannot unmute until you hit that okay button.
Randy,
Go, Randy.
another reason why you might see that unable to unmute is because the moderator might hear extraneous noises somewhere in audience, and she'll hit a button and it'll mute everybody. So at that point, you won't be able to unmute yourself until she kind of releases it.
Yes, I am aware of that too. I just I've been having trouble when I'm on other calls, not just this one. When I'm on other calls, trying to unmute is just difficult.
Okay, go, Pete.
I'm wondering, Mary Alice, are you tapping? You see the mute button and you're tapping it, but it's not letting you unmute. Are you actually seeing the mute button?
I'm not. No, it just says.
So you're not finding it anywhere on your screen?
No, and I keep swiping and keep on trying to. Sometimes I hear that I'm muted, and I try to swipe right to see if I can unmute, and it won't let me.
Yeah,
Okay.
what I do is go. This is Pete.
Go, Pete.
I go to the bottom of my phone with my 4-finger single tap, get to the very bottom, and then I flick to the left, which means I'm going back up the screen. And usually it's 8 or 10 flicks to the left on the phone Zoom app.
Okay.
And you'll hear you are muted, and then you may also see another button that says tap to unmute. So there's a couple of buttons that might use the word mute in there. So try each one and just double tap with one finger on both of them to see which one works.
This is John.
Thank you, Chris.
Go, John.
Robert.
The other thing I'm wondering is if, sorry. The other thing I'm wondering is when you join Zoom, sometimes there's like a pop-up like Wi-Fi or cellular data or join without audio. I still don't know why this is an option, but anyway, I think one of them is join without audio. And I don't know if maybe when you join without audio, maybe they don't have the mute unmute button. So if you get that pop-up, always try to choose Wi-Fi or cellular data, because I don't know if maybe choosing that join without audio, I don't know, maybe it's not bringing up the mute unmute button. So just to play it safe, it's good to choose the Wi-Fi/cellular if you get that pop-up before the meeting.
Okay. Robert, let's go.
I'm on my iPhone right now in this meeting, and a couple things I've noticed that even in the Zoom app, sometimes things get a little weird, and you have to just touch somewhere on the screen to get VoiceOver to focus back on the correct Zoom items. And the second thing is I've noticed that if you do a 3-finger swipe right or left, it will, at least for me, it takes me to different pages in the Zoom app. And if you get off on a page that's not this main Zoom meeting screen, then the way the mute system seems to work, you have a different option for muting and unmuting. So you need to make sure you're on the main screen and make sure that VoiceOver is actually focusing on these items. And you do that by just doing a touching somewhere, say in the middle of the screen, to get VoiceOver to settle down.
Okay, who else?
Christina.
Okay, Christina and then Cynthia.
Real quick, someone briefly touched on this. apps, it could possibly have to do with the type of Zoom call that you're joining. I have joined some webinars and I do not have a mute or unmute button. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay. Cynthia.
Cynthia here. What I found sometimes is you have to tap the screen and the little microphone sometimes disappears. So you have to kind of keep doing that. And then also I've noticed on another thing where sometimes there's another screen that comes up that has the audio and the camera, and you have to make sure that the audio or the camera is on as well. But anyway, I find you kind of have to fool around sometimes with the microphone in order to get it to work.
All right. Very good, y'all. Thank you.
Thank you. This is Chris.
Chris.
Just real quick. I think I've heard before you can try the 2-finger double tap. And I think I've heard people say that will mute or unmute you, I believe. And also I've heard people say if you lock your phone on the home screen, on the lock screen, it's right there, the mute or unmute.
Okay.
Randy.
Randy.
One more thing on this topic. So sometimes when you're on your iPhone, if maybe you swipe away for a second, sometimes you'll come to the call with Zoom screen instead of the Zoom screen. The call with Zoom screen won't have all the information you see on a normal Zoom call. So if you're flicking left and right and you're not seeing the screen about meeting information and how many participants there are, you're not in the Zoom app itself where you'd find the unmute button. Just keep flicking and if you're on that screen, you'll hear a Zoom. And when you double tap on the Zoom, you'll be on the screen in the Zoom app where you can find the unmute button.
Okay. Good luck, Mary Alice. Okay.
Thank you.
Next. New question. Great question. Go ahead. Who's next? Zoom is always kind of evolving too, but anyway. Who's next? New question? Questions about anything relating to your iPhone would be preferable.
This is John.
Go.
So I'm actually having an issue with the check-in feature on my Apple Watch, and it's a situation in which when I try to plug in my destination and I try to set it up so it'll do the check-in from my desired destination, it keeps reverting back to my home. So by default, my home is set up for my check-in. So when I'm on my way home, I choose my home and then it lets people know when I get home. But, excuse me, it works perfectly fine on my phone. I can choose my destination and everything works fine. But on my watch, it keeps reverting back to my home as my destination, even though I'm not going there. So I end up having to just do the check-in feature on my phone instead of my watch.
Okay, who can help John with the check-in feature? I'm going to do a real quick
This
thing
is Marty.
Go, Marty.
Maybe your wife sabotaged your watch and you're supposed to come home.
Uh-huh. Next, who's got a real suggestion? Oh, John, can you quickly just talk a real high level what check-in does, how it works?
This is John.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so the basic idea is that the check-in feature makes it possible for people to know when you've arrived at your desired destination. So, for example, if I'm going to a library, I set my destination, my mode of transportation, and then I send it. It's a feature within the Message app. On the Apple Watch, it used to be a separate app, but now it's with watchOS 11. It's part of Messages, like on the iPhone, and that's the idea. It just sends them a notification letting them know that you set the check-in, and then when you get to your desired destination, it sends them another notification to let them know when you've safely arrived.
All right, so then they know if they need to make sure that they need to call the police if you've been kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
By aliens. Okay, good. Well, very good. Thank you. Okay, we want John to be safe, and that's really cool. Okay, who else has any help for John why he can do it from his watch and not from his phone. But it has worked in the past, John, just not doing it now.
This is John.
Uh-huh.
So it's always worked on the phone, but this is my first time to try it on the watch, and for whatever reason, it's not working.
Okay, so technically it's never worked on your watch.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay,
Robert?
anybody? Go, Robert.
Sounds like a good idea, possibly to report it to Apple and let Apple Accessibility know about it, and maybe take a look at it and see if they can determine if it's possibly a bug.
Possibly a bug on iBUG. Who would have thought? Okay, thank you, Robert. Okay, next. We'll go. Who else? New question. Okay. All right. Anybody? All questions are fair game.
This is Pete.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I had some discussion on a text list the other day about a potential bug in the Bard app. And that specifically is when you are rewinding or fast forwarding, you always have been getting an audio message from VoiceOver announcing a 20-second rewind, a 1-minute rewind, and a 5-minute rewind, and then increasingly more verbal announcements, VoiceOver announcements as you got farther and farther rewinding or fast forwarding. There's no audio VoiceOver response on those increments lately. I'm wondering if anybody has noticed that and if they've seen any announcement or notification from NLS on the NLS.org website about that being a bug, a known bug.
Okay.
Robert?
Good. Go, Pat.
The only message I saw lately is they're going to do an update, and the recently downloaded books are not going to include the length of the book or the narrator, and those would be updated later. That's the only thing I've noticed.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
All right. Anybody else?
This is Jody.
Robert, Jody, and then we're done. Go.
I was just reading a Bard book last week for the book club, or week before last, and those rewind announcements were working for me. So I don't know if it's broken for everybody or just for some people, or what the deal is.
Okay, Jody?
Yeah, I'm still running 18.4, and I was listening to a book this afternoon, and those features worked. And I did see that announcement where people were having problems with it. So I paid attention, and I was able to hear them.
Yeah, this is Pete.
Yes.
Apparently it's sporadic and it's not across the board. I'm having difficulty, and a few others on that text list were also having difficulty, but not everyone. So, okay, just wondered if anybody had seen any announcements from NLS. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Who else? New question. Lots of good stuff out there.
This is Chris.
Go.
Does anybody know if the Overcast app has been updated so it does not, from what I hear, force you to download anything that you subscribe to for a podcast as opposed to being able to stream them? I still haven't updated, and it's been a couple of months ever since David had said that everything downloaded all of a sudden on his phone when he updated the app. Does anybody know if that's, I would say, been fixed or been changed so you can go back to just streaming podcasts and not have to download all of them?
All right. Anybody? Overcast app been updated? Okay, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't.
Robert?
Go, Robert.
I stream podcasts all the time on Overcast, and it works fine. And I've never had it download all the podcasts. So I don't know if that was just a one-time freak thing that happened or what, but Overcast in its current update is working fine for me.
This is Chris.
Yep.
Are you subscribed to those podcasts?
Robert.
Yeah, I'm talking about podcasts that I'm subscribed to.
And so they automatically, this is Chris.
Yep.
So if they automatically populate your feed, that's what David was saying, that the ones that you subscribe to, when they automatically go into your feed, they're downloading instead of being set to stream. So you don't have that problem?
I do not have that problem as far as I know. I'll go double check it now that you said that, but I don't think I have that problem, but I'll verify it next week or something.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Good job. Robert's going to do some homework. Okay, thank you. Way to go, Chris. Give him homework. All right. Okay, who else? New question.
This is Jody.
Go.
Can I make a comment about an addition to the Meta AI app? Not the glasses, but just the app.
Okay. That should probably be for the regular, the iBUG.
Oh, okay.
Mini
Well,
bugs.
that's a new accessibility feature.
Sorry?
It's a new accessibility feature.
Okay, quickly.
Okay, if you go to your go to device and go to settings, go to accessibility, and Be My Eyes used to be the only option there, and now there's a second option that they're rolling out, which will give you a more detailed description of things.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go. Next question. Okay, well, I have a question. I am using the Notes app, and I created a note, and then I want to navigate within the note, and I have it set to, characters or words or whatever. But the minute I swipe down, it says add link, and I'm like, no, I don't want to add link. So I'm stuck in this weird, eventually I will get it to be in the position at the beginning or at the end, but it's like, is that just how, I've used notes for a long time, but.
It's Chris.
Go, Chris.
That link, that's part of the actions item rotor.
Okay, so just get
So
out
if your
of it.
rotor is set to actions as opposed to character to the right of it, if it's on actions, if you do one finger flick down, you will hear add link.
Okay.
This is John.
Go, John.
I think it was also on this group that by default, because the rotor is context aware, as Chris mentioned, that it will do that by default. If you want it to stop doing it, I think in voiceover and rotor, I think there's an option to turn that off. But the downside is that every time you go to something where it's actionable, you have to turn it manually as opposed to like it giving you that option. So it kind of has its pros and cons.
Okay, well, it's
This is
a
Jody.
problem for me. Go, Jody.
Yeah, I find that I don't think it's necessarily a rotor issue, but I know that when I'm in a note, I will have that pop up all the time also. So I go back to I usually end up canceling that feature, and then I just do a one finger double tap to put the focus back into the note, because that's almost like a format feature.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just do a one finger double tap to get back into the note, and then I'm able to go back to lines and words and characters. But I think that's actually a format feature.
This is Chris.
Go, Chris.
It's definitely in the actions item rotor, add link.
Okay, I'm going to get rid of it because it's driving me crazy. So
This is John.
go.
So alternatively, what some people will do is they'll, under voiceover commands and touch gestures, they'll create a custom gesture, like, I don't know, a 2-finger flick left and right so that you can switch voiceover rotor items. So if it does do that, you're not locked into one option or the other where the action rotor is automatic or manual. You can just, if it does go into that, then you can just flick left or right as opposed to turning your rotor, which is a pain. So that's another option as well.
This is Pete.
Oh, Pete.
I don't know that any of these explanations account for why, because I know, Sandhya, you undoubtedly flick your rotor to words or characters or whatever you intend to navigate with. So you're not by accident still remaining in the actions rotor, are you? You're adjusting the rotor as you need it. So why it's flipping back to the actions rotor after you've turned it to another option should not be happening.
Well, I don't think I have to go back. It's like some things you do automatically. So when I open a note and I've already, like a note that I've already created, and then I want to edit it or move forward through it, that's a really good question. I need to go back and see what I am doing because.
Just turn your rotor to words and see if it's a problem.
Right. Okay, go, Shazadi.
I know what you're talking about. It's just a glitch in the Notes app. I start writing a note, and then all of a sudden it goes to the top. It's just a glitch, the focus loses it. Unfortunately, you have to swipe right or left, or you have to go back to the router because it automatically switches sometimes. That's just a glitch in the iPhone world.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. It's just a
feel my
glitch. There's no way
pain.
around it. Because I do a lot of note taking and stuff, so I know what you're talking about.
Okay, thank
This
you.
is Deb.
Go, Deb.
Just one more thing. And I've seen that a lot of times too. And I think when I encounter that, I just flick to the left or right until I hear edit, because for some reason the focus goes out of the edit field, I think, is what happens. And you get over there into kind of like what people are saying happens on this Zoom call, where things are just funny that gets out of where it's supposed to be. And if you flick left or right, I think you'll get back into the edit field. When you hear edit, then you can go ahead and use your words and lines and all that.
Okay, but see, by then I'm already so mad that I keep having to do this. That
temper,
not very patient.
Patience.
No patience. Okay.
It's testing.
Yeah.
This is
Who's
John.
that? Okay. All right, go, John.
So I think the rationale behind it is the reason why it comes up is because the Notes app thinks you want to create a link with the text in the edit field, but I know it's kind of an inconvenience, but I guess that's my only understanding of why VoiceOver is interpreting it that way. I don't know if it's a VoiceOver thing or if it's specific to the Notes app itself, but maybe they figure, oh, you have text in this note. Do you want to turn it into a link?
Okay, well, all right. All right, who's got a quick question for our halftime show? Anybody? Even not a quick question. Who would like to go? Are anybody using SIRI to create notes and do the notes automatically go in with all the other notes? It's another question for consideration. Any takers on that one?
Can you restate your question? This is Pat.
Okay, so I ask SIRI, take a note, buy eggs and milk and bread, or whatever. Does that note go to, like wherever all my other notes are? I'm assuming it is, and then I should be able to edit it, right?
Randy. Speaking of S person, recently, even if I try to do something that's asked a simple question, it won't finish it. And I've had this trouble when I'm trying to create appointments and that kind of thing. It'll just kind of start confirming what I want, and it'll just stop there. So I imagine the notes is probably the same issue.
This is Shazadi.
Go, Shazadi. Thanks, Rita. Go.
Yeah, you can do that, and it goes into the notes where whatever your default note is, it will go into that folder. So say your default is your notes app on your iPhone. So when you say, hey Siri, create note with eggs, bread, whatever, it will automatically put it into the default notes place.
Okay, don't think I've ever created a default folder, but I guess I have, because there are several.
Like, if you have sorry, this is Shazadi.
Yeah.
If you have Gmail account, Hotmail account, some of them they all come with their notes, right? If you just have one iPhone as your default, everything just goes there automatically.
Okay, yes, okay.
This is Helene.
Go, Helene.
Well, I finally unmuted, but anyway, but I can say that I do create a note all the time with Iris, but I say, create a new note, and it always says, what do you want it to say? And I say it, and then I put it in, and the only way I find it is they seem to have categories of the last week or the last day, and it just seems to be, recent, and so I can find it that way, but it is not as good as it was 10 years ago when I would have it all alphabetized and I could just put in a word. But I'm still able to find it by creating the new note. I just have to put in the right words.
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts on creating a note with Iris?
Christina?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to confirm that I do use Iris to create notes, and they just go right in there with all my other notes in the Notes app.
Okay. And Christina, are you meticulous about putting everything in folders, or do you just leave them all there to hang out?
Mostly just leave them all there to hang out.
Yeah, me too. All right. That's good to know. Go, Pat.
I do use folders because I'm involved in NFB. I have a division I'm a president of. I'm a treasurer of the chapter. So I have different folders for specific things. I have a folder for recipes. I put recipes in there. Books, if somebody talks about a book, I keep a list of books that somebody's recommended. I do a lot of folders, and I do happy hour, so I keep themes in there because sometimes we repeat them, so I can go back and get my list of songs out again. But I feel it's easier to find something if you do notes for specific things.
This is Sean.
That presumes that you know where you put it. Okay, John, before the pap time, go quick.
Yes, so I just tested it. It goes to the default is the iCloud folder.
All right, yay. Okay, we are now.
This is Marcia.
Okay, hang on, hold that thought. We are about to start iBUG halftime show. And now this is your turn to say who you are, where you're from, and if you're here for the first time, let me know that. Who's going to go?
I'm Marcia from Daytona Beach, and just use voice memos. It's
All right, welcome. Keep going.
This is Helene.
Hi, Vanessa from Georgia.
Helene, Vanessa, welcome.
Nikki, San Francisco.
Okay.
Angelo in Ottawa.
Angelo, welcome.
Jake in Michigan.
Debbie in Tennessee.
Jake and welcome, Desi.
Debbie.
Okay. Welcome back. Hello.
Shree from Virginia.
Hey, Shree.
This is Southern Illinois.
Hey, there she is. Welcome. Going.
Jerry from Arlington Heights.
Welcome. And who is that?
Gloria from Houston.
All right. Welcome, Gloria. Keep going. Who you are, where you're from. Anybody else?
Cindy from Chicago.
Cindy, welcome.
Gary in Austin.
Hey, Gary.
Hey
You're late,
there.
but it's okay.
I am late. I know. I admit it.
Okay. I'm just letting you know. Keep going. Who else?
It's Mary Alice from Pennsylvania.
Mary Alice, welcome.
Cheryl in Cleveland.
Hey, Cheryl.
John from BC, Canada.
Welcome. Okay. Lots going. Okay.
Cindy from Chicago.
Yeah, welcome, Cindy. Welcome.
Marvin
All right.
from Chicago.
Hey, welcome, Marvin. Okay. All right.
Susan from Maryland, first time.
Oh, who's that? What is your name?
Susan.
From Maryland?
Yes.
What is your name?
Susan.
Oh, Susan. Hey, how did you hear about us?
Actually, from Shri. There was an email, and then recently a prevention of blindness mentioned it again.
Oh, cool. And what iPhone device, what iDevices do you have?
Say that again?
What Apple devices are you using? Like your
an iPhone, and I just recently got the Meta glasses. So.
Oh, cool. Well, congratulations. Glad you're here. And thank you, Shri, for bringing us a new member. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, good. All right, now we are going to find out what the movie is. The movie is on Friday. iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies on Friday, starting at 8 p.m. Audio track only. Prior to that, at 7:15, we have Argle Bargle, Name That Tune, Bad Jokes, and General Craziness. So come for that. And after the movie, we'll have discussion and trivia. So let's go. iBUG Guy, are you out there?
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And the radio up. I like to see sunrise.
Yes. We are here again for another halftime show. All right. Before we get into that, though, You remember last week we learned what the longest flight in, I forget the number of miles in kilometers, but from New York City to Singapore is the longest nonstop passenger flight. What was it, about 18, almost 19 hours?
Yeah.
All right, so today we are going to find out what are the top 3 most busiest airports in the world. Anybody just throw out some?
Atlanta, Hartsfield.
JFK.
Hartsfield, JFK. Any other?
Chicago.
Chicago, O'Hare.
Atlanta.
LA. All right.
Houston.
Well, you guys hit around a couple of them anyway. Number
Heathrow.
1 is Hartsfield Jackson Airport in Atlanta. Yes, number 1. It has what? 108 million passengers per year. That was in 2024. Go through there. So that's on average about 296,000 passengers per day. And roughly 2,100 flights per day.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing. And just for second and third, you had both these come in pretty close. Dubai and DFW, Dallas Fort Worth. So there you go. All right. That was the fun factoid of the night. And now we are ready for
There he goes, Jules.
I got my last bell
So
ready.
there's 1 rotation. There's 2 rotations.
Oh, he's coming.
He's re-entering.
All right. We are ready. We've got some clues. We got some rules first. If you were a winner in the last, how many? 3 weeks, you're not eligible to play tonight. Also, if you're a facilitator or mentor, you get to be in the bullpen until we call on you. We have 5 clues. You get 1 guess per clue. Everyone can stay unmuted. Just say your name before you try to guess what the title of the movie is. All right, here we go with clue number 1. The setting of our film this week is Washington, D.C. and New York. Okay, I hear the hums, but no titles. All right, we're going to move right along to clue number. The film is based on a novel. Okay, let's see if any of my people that read books knows this author. Patricia Highsmith, based on a novel by Patricia Highsmith. Ooh, okay. I guess Sarah's not out there. She usually knows all these authors. All right, moving on. Clue number. What are we on? 3. One of the characters has an obsession with his mother, which reflects the theme of the Oedipus complex. Anybody know who Oedipus was? Oedipal.
Oedipal.
That's Oedipus's brother.
All right. Come on, guys.
Right. No takers. Wow.
Pete? Bullpen?
Bullpen, yes. Come on
Yes. Okay. Strangers on a Train.
Strangers on a Train. Okay, I don't know about that one, but that could be something to look at some point in the future.
Okay.
So good try, Pete. And such a good try. Ding, 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 ding. Yes.
Oh,
We
wow.
are watching Strangers on a Train.
Way to
Just
go,
read
Pete.
that. I read that.
Hitchcock.
It's the only
One
reason. It's
of-
the only
Good
Patricia
job,
Highsmith
Pete.
I
Good
knew.
job.
All
I
right.
read it about
Yes.
6 months ago. It's an excellent book.
Yes, it was written in 1950, and Alfred Hitchcock took it, liked it, and did the movie in 1951. Sometimes considered one of his best movies, especially if you go read the review that we're going to send you by that guy named Ebert. So, it stars Farley Granger, Robert Walker, and Ruth Roman. It's fairly short, only an hour and 41 minutes compared to a lot of the others we have. And a psychological thriller, crime and drama. Some murders happening in there. Hitchcock plays off the double. There's another actor that does a murder along with the main character. And so they kind of play off of each other and have this dual psycho drama. Let's see. We got to go give Pete a prize. Let's see. What do we have for Pete tonight? Ooh. Well, if you would have heard my bonus clue, which we didn't get to, there was a cigarette lighter that played an important part. This lighter was engraved with from A to G, and that stood for Ann to Guy. Guy was one of the guys that committed a murder, and somebody left a cigarette lighter that
Tell us the
implicated
story.
him. What?
You're telling us the story.
I'm giving you the storyline a little bit, but anyway, Guy couldn't find it, but we found it. We had a cigarette lighter, and we've touched it up and gave it a fresh coat of iBUG colors. So we will be sending that off to Pete this coming week.
Cool. Thank you.
I don't know if it works or not, but it's only 75 years old. All right. That's what we got coming up. Hopefully everybody will join us this Friday for another Hitchcock favorite. We've done, I don't know, half a dozen of Hitchcock's
they're great
films lately. So here we go. Another one coming up. And I guess I will say so long for now and be back later.
The touch of a precious child and no mother's love. It's funny how it's the little things in life that mean.
All right. Well, I'm back. They actually let me do this again. I get to be the host for the second hour. And first up, we are going to have, I'm not sure. Are we going to have a bite?
Yes. Here we are. This is
All right. We have a bite for you. So stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Here we go, peeps. Tonight we're going to be talking about how to take a picture on your iPhone. I will be using SIRI to accomplish this task. I will be using the side button or power button to invoke SIRI. I've gotten different results depending on whether I push the button and let go and then say take picture, or hold the side button down continuously and say take picture and then let go. That gets the better result. I'm going to hold down the side button and say take picture. Take picture.
0 camera, take picture button.
Automatically we're on the take picture button. I single finger double tap and the picture is taken. Alternatively, I could use the up or down volume buttons to take the picture. Now, if I want to confirm that it is there, I can swipe right.
Photo and video viewer button.
Single finger double tap.
Back button.
So if I swipe right.
5:41 p.m.
So that's the time that I took the picture. And you can use that as a tool to verify that you're on the right picture. Continuing to swipe right.
All photos button. More button. Live photo button. Photo chooser. Photo 16,183 of 16,183. Adjustable.
So 60,183 of 60,183 tells me that that is the most recent photo that I have taken. So this is a nice simple way to take a picture. So I hope you try it out.
Ooh, so cool. Yes, that's probably the fastest way to engage the camera. Don't have to do any swiping and looking for buttons. All right, we're going to open it up for questions for Sandhya.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay, everybody's unmuted now. Go ahead. Who has a question? Say your name.
This is Marcia. How would you send this to somebody? And how do you know that you've got the picture correct? You know, that what you're focusing on is there.
Okay, this, I didn't go into finding the subject. The whole point was to take a picture. You're going to have to, we may talk about more of that later, but this is just a real basic how to take a picture. Okay. And then there are techniques, for taking people. You get feedback from the phone. It'll say two faces and, near the screen, say where it is. So there's, but this is just to get started. There's a lot in this camera app. So this is meant to be a very simple start because there's a lot that we can still go through.
This is Angelo.
Go ahead.
When you say the side button, I'm not sure what you mean. I have a phone with a home button. Do you mean just hold down the home button?
Oh, great question. No, this is if you're holding the phone in portrait mode and the home button is toward the bottom, then the side button is on the right side of the phone near the top.
This
maybe the lock screen
the power button. Okay.
Yeah, the power button or lock screen. Yeah.
Okay.
This is free.
Okay. Well, hang on, Angela, were you finished?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, go, Sri.
I think for that, he does have to press the home button to bring up the SIRI. For the device with the home button, you'd hold down the home button and invoke the SIRI.
Of course. Okay. Thank you, Sri. Okay. Okay, who else? Anybody questions about taking a picture?
This is Sri.
Okay, Liz and then Sri.
Did you say to hold down the side button before you say, hey, Iris, or which one goes first?
So what happens is if you hold the button, the side button, and, you hear the little tone, and then you say, take picture. Then it doesn't take you, it says camera control. So, but if you hold the button down and give the command, then it automatically puts you on the take picture button. I figured that out the hard way. Okay, so does that help?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, go, Sri.
I was going to say, to get the best picture without it being shaky is what you just said, hold the side button, finish the command, and then I use the volume up. That way, as I don't have to tap the screen. And sometimes when you do that, you kind of lose focus of the picture. So the volume up and volume down makes it much easier.
All right. Yes.
This is Pete.
Go.
Just to clarify in my head, so you got really two actions. You're evoking SIRI, and she brings up the camera screen, and then you take the picture, like Sri said, with the up volume button. So it's two actions.
Yes, you can do it that way, or like we said, it's already the focus is on the take picture button, so you can double tap right there
on the screen. Okay, thanks.
Okay, who else? Anybody else? Other questions?
This is Ed.
Ed.
Can you start the camera just with audio with, say, ask Iris to start camera? Do you have to push the home button? Just use a voice. Just use a voice command, like.
Michael can answer that. Go, Mr. McCulloch.
Yeah, so you can use Hey Siri or Siri if you got it set up that way. Just say Siri, take a picture, and that opens the camera, and then you can use the volume up down to like a shutter button or double, tap the. And this is Ed.
Yes, go ahead.
How do you turn it off? How do you stop the camera from being on? Like sometimes I'll get it on, and I won't want it on. So how do you? Well, I guess you can say, "Hey Siri, turn off the camera." I guess, but
one way I would, depending on how you get to your home, get to your app switcher, either swipe up from the bottom and get to the app switcher, then you'll see camera, and then just close that app out.
Oh, right, yeah,
Definitely
of course,
out of the
yeah.
camera app.
Thank you.
This is Pete.
Yes.
I think Ed was referring to the video camera. Are you not, Ed?
No.
No?
No, I don't want to get involved with that at all.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. Who else? Anybody else?
Miss Rosetta Stone.
Go ahead.
I was wondering, you called this technique, did you say SRI?
I was not wanting to say her name. Because
Oh, you didn't want to say her name.
Yeah.
Okay.
S-I-R-I.
I get you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Anybody else?
This is Marcia. And when I talk about sending it, isn't it true that when you get a text from somebody, when you're swiping right, it gets to something about take a picture, and then it would put it in there and you could send it?
When you get a text, I mean, when you get it, say that again?
Okay, I get it. I get a text message from somebody and I want to take a picture of my dinner.
Uh-huh.
When I'm in that text message, I swipe right and it goes by applications, and then I think it goes by photo. And I think you could somehow or other you can take a picture there and it will put it right in the text for you to send.
Okay. Yes. I'm like, this is just one way to do it. There are lots of ways. Just trying to get people started and how to take a picture.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else? Just out of curiosity, how many people take pictures? Either once in a while or a lot?
Now and then.
Now and then. Randy says now and then. Who else?
Yes. Occasionally, yes.
Occasionally, okay.
Linda, this is Shri.
Linda, yes. Shri.
I'm just very impressive that you got 60,000 pictures.
I don't know. I don't know what those are, but yeah, I don't know.
They're all a baby.
Probably
but,
my dog. Okay.
What I wanted to, this is Shri.
Uh-huh.
What I wanted to say is, we as people who are visually impaired don't believe that you cannot take a picture and be able to understand the picture, because you can.
Oh yes, and that is coming, but we want to get everybody first kind of used to taking the picture, and then there's so much more that we can do. We talk a lot about it, and we definitely take pictures in the course of other apps. So we'll talk about techniques and all that good stuff. But let's get started just taking a picture.
Well, this is Angelo. I'm glad to hear that, because I've never taken the picture and I'm afraid to. So
yes, and this is meant to, that's exactly, I hear that a lot. I'm blind. Why would I take a picture? And if you learned nothing else here, we just, the worst thing you can do is take a picture, and it's horrible. And we're not going to know. We'll learn about how to delete and how to send. I mean, there's a lot of prospects here with this app.
This is Angelo. Also, could we learn how to get a description of the picture so that we can
you are
hear what we've done?
Angelo, you're way ahead of the game. Hold that thought for a couple of little bit. Okay, go, Paul.
Depending on where you were on the screen or whatever, if you happen to get in the wrong mode, you can hit the burst mode and you could end up with 60,000.
Yes, that may have happened sometimes.
Robert?
All right.
This is
Robert, go ahead.
There's a very good book available from the National Braille Press by Judy Dixon, all about taking pictures using the iPhone camera if you're blind, if you wanted, anybody wants to do some reading. It's probably a little bit dated now because been some new features added about regarding descriptions and all, but it's still got a lot of good information in it.
Yes, and that's a good point you brought up, Robert. We actually had Judy Dixon do a cafe for us last summer. So, yes, it was awesome. And this is just kind of a follow-up. Very, very touch the surface on this one.
This is Vincent.
Go, Vincent.
Well, I don't take many pictures anymore, but I remember one time I was trying, there was a toucan bird that flew into a tree. And I knew it. I saw it, several other people saw it, or at least I told them that the bird was there. And I proceeded to take pictures, but since I really couldn't see where the toucan actually was, I took about 10 pictures, and then looked for the bird and had some help there, and the bird was nowhere in sight. So the bird was probably about maybe 20 feet away or something like that from me. So I had no way of using, the Zoom. So what happened is that one of my friends, one of the people that were on the tour, ended up taking the picture for me. And after that, I, reviewed all the different pictures, that ones that I had taken. And my gosh, I mean, that was, quite a difference. So, I mean, it's, you can take pictures, but once again, it's kind of difficult to when you're focusing on one object and it's not either close to you. It's hard to pinpoint.
Yeah, that's a pretty ambitious there to take a picture of a bird that's 20 feet away. I mean, where I practice with taking a picture of my ceiling fan. So some of those 60,000 pictures are of my ceiling fan, and I toyed with the thought of sending them to some of my friends, but we won't have them for much longer. So there are, limitations, but again, we can talk about taking pictures of people and animals, and there's a lot here. Okay, so final questions. We're gonna move on.
And Randy, I just have a comment.
Yes, go.
You talk about how you can take pictures, and if you don't like it, if they take too many, you can just delete them. Kind of a little nostalgia. Reminds me of the day where you take a roll of 24 pictures, drop them off at the drugstore, a week later, come back and you find 3 of them that are worth keeping, and you paid $7 to get it developed and all.
Ah, that's so quaint, Randy. Yes, yes. Fox Photo, remember? Fox Photo?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Trip down memory lane.
Cynthia?
Cynthia.
I take pictures of the full moons.
Oh, cool. Very good. I'll have to. Liz.
Okay. So you're going to help us get step-by-step baby steps into taking, finding the person you're supposed to take the picture of eventually.
That
So
is
does
the
that mean-
plan. That is the plan.
Cool. So how do I talk my husband into going into another 4-week road trip? We just got back, and I kind of didn't get him in the picture a few times. Oh, well, I take pictures. I just don't know what I'm supposed to be taking them of.
Well, we will learn. We will learn. So,
cool.
Thank you. Okay, guys, that was hopefully helpful, and that would be something that you can go try. You're not going to hurt anything, and definitely go try some pictures over the week. Okay, now I'm handing it back to Mr. McCullough.
All right, very good. All right, just watching the Astros and the Rays play. Okay, we've got to move right along. We got a half hour left here. Oh, just one other thought about you can use that same technique, and rather than saying take picture, you can say take selfie if you want to get pictures of up your nose or anything like that. So that's always fun to do. And who was that was mentioning taking pictures in the messages app? In text messages? I don't remember who that was.
That was Marsha.
Marsha. Yeah, I think that's called sexting.
It was of her dinner. Go on.
All right. Let's move right along. Who has a question, iOS or iDevice related question for this last half hour? Lots of time.
This is Jody.
Jody.
I just wanted to comment about an app I have called Selfie X, and it uses the back camera. So because the display is away from you when you take the picture, it's very descriptive. So it will say, tip the camera left, tip the camera right, and then it will say, move the camera to the left or the right to center the person. And then when you've got the person perfectly centered, then it says, now say cheese, and then it takes the picture automatically.
Yes, I've used that one too. Great app.
Yeah, it's a selfie. It's called Selfie X.
All right, very good. Who would like to go next?
Valencia.
Valencia.
All right. I'd like to bring some music into the room and talk about Apple Music. I've noticed that when I play playlists, the controls will stay so that it just repeats one song. And when I try to toggle it away from that, it doesn't seem to do it. And I'm wondering if anybody else has come across that, especially if you have a playlist that has like 100+ songs in it. You don't want to hear the one song, especially if you're doing stuff. You want to go through the list.
Okay. Who can help Ms. Val out with that one? Anybody using the music app? I think probably one of the guys that's probably most knowledgeable of that is not here tonight. Herbie uses that quite a bit.
This is Sandhya.
Sandhya, okay.
Okay, Valencia, your question, you're saying that it only plays one song in your playlist and then it doesn't do anything else?
And it seems like it's a toggle button, and it'll say repeat or play one track, and it'll say select it, but then when you hit it again to unselect it, it still does the same thing. So I don't know if it's a glitch within the app itself or if it's a setting issue.
Yeah, the music app is a little squirrely, but I'm not really a fan of Iris, but have you tried asking her to play the playlist?
No.
Like, this is a playlist you created, I'm assuming, and you have a name for it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So say, play Val's playlist or Valencia's playlist, and maybe it'll work there. And you want to make sure repeat is off and shuffle is off, all those. I mean, there's a lot of settings there, as you know. So.
Yeah, also you could, if you get stuck on a song and you want to move on, you can just ask Siri to skip. And it'll should go to the next song on the list.
All right.
All right, very good. Who would like to have the next question? Well, we're going to finish early tonight, looks like. Christina, go ahead.
So this is about the Apple Music thing. Valencia, are you on the now playing screen? The screen where it has the album up at the top, and because it's really confusing. Because down at the bottom there is a control, and it says playing next, repeat. Well, mine says repeat all. And so when you double tap that button, you have to feel around, and I really can't explain it because it's been a really long time since I've messed with it. And it's not super clear cut, but this extra stuff shows up on the screen, kind of up near the right on the top. And you'll see like a list of songs that are in the queue, but there's some controls there. And that might be where you need to find the repeat to change it. And then one other suggestion is to try SIRI, oops, I'm sorry, Iris. And because I know I can use Iris to turn shuffle on and off, but he'd never tried it with repeat. So that's another idea. So I don't know if that helps at all.
This is Valencia.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't usually use Iris when I'm playing music. I usually manually touch the screen. But this is, I think I'm thinking of the button that she's talking about where it says repeat all or repeat one track or whatever. And that's the thing that you think should be a toggle button, but it doesn't seem to do it when you try to turn it on or off. And so that's the problem that I'm running into. But I can try using Iris for skipping, but it seems like there should be a way to do that without having to engage Iris. So,
Christina?
Go ahead.
Yeah, so the reason why that button doesn't seem like it does anything is because it's like it's more like you're toggling on this, I don't know what to call it, I'm sorry, but this other stuff shows up on the screen where you can see like your queue of songs, and there's some controls there like repeat, shuffle, but if you double tap that button again, the one that says playing next, repeat, it'll get rid of that thing that shows up on the screen. And I usually only find what shows up on the screen by explore by touch. It's not real easy it doesn't swipe around. I mean, when I swipe around, it doesn't work real well. So my suggestion is double tap that button that says playing next, repeat, and then feel around on the screen up near the top right corner and see if you can find those controls.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that happens. I think Robert kind of mentioned that earlier too. Sometimes, just the swipe navigation will, there's actual buttons and things labeled there, but the swipe will just skip over it, and you'll have to use Explore by Touch to find certain things. All right, very good. Who would like to go next?
Miss Rosetta Stone.
Miss Rosetta, what you got?
I had a Bluetooth headphone on and I took it off, and then my phone wouldn't talk and I didn't know where the Bluetooth headphone was. And my husband had told me that it's talking in the headphone, but I didn't know where it was, so I couldn't make my phone talk. So what do you do in a case like that and you can't see the screen and the phone won't talk?
This is Jody.
Go ahead, Jody.
Yes, tell SIRI to turn off Bluetooth, and then it will disconnect your earbud and you'll be able to use the phone, and then hopefully you'll be able to find the earbud.
This Rosetta, but she wouldn't talk either. Everything just stopped. I couldn't get speech to come on. SRI, whatever you call her, didn't talk either.
This is Jody.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, she's not going to be, you're not going to be able to hear her, but I don't know what phone you have, but like, for example, you could use the HEY feature, or you could just hit the button on your phone, whether it's the home button or the power button. You invoke SIRI, and then just tell her, turn Bluetooth off.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're not going to hear her, but you'll know that you're activating it because you've pressed the button.
Okay.
And I've done that many times.
Thanks.
This is John.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
So I don't know if Jody mentioned this and I wasn't paying attention, but just I think depending on how it's set up with Iris, I think you get the haptic feedback. So even if you can't hear her, you should be able to get the haptic feedback if you're doing it from your phone.
What do you mean haptic feedback?
This is John.
Go ahead.
So haptic feedback, I just mean like you'll get like a vibration from the phone. So you'll be able to feel it. So if you're doing it with the button instead of with the voice command, then you'll get the feedback. But even if you're doing it with the voice command, if your phone is on a hard surface, your phone may vibrate, and you might hear the vibration if it's like on a desk or something too. So that's another way you'll know that Siri, or at least you'll know that your phone is doing something, and you could just draw the conclusion that it was the Siri command that caused the vibration.
Pat,
Go ahead, Pat.
I was gonna say if you have Be My Eyes app on your phone, you can say, Iris, Be My Eyes, call a volunteer, and then double tap when that comes up on your phone. And when the volunteer comes on, tell them you lost your Bluetooth and have them help you look for it. Just scan the camera around wherever the vicinity you were. It's very helpful.
Robert?
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, that's a great idea, except that you'll have to get the phone speaking again before you'll be able to hear the Be My Eyes volunteer, because that volunteer will be coming through the hidden Bluetooth headset and you won't be able to hear them.
Randy.
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
Part of the problem with trying to get the Bluetooth to turn off is when you're talking to Irish, she's going to be listening wherever the headphone is. So if you're not sure where it is, in order for that to be effective, to have her turn Bluetooth off, you may have to shout in every room of your house, whatever, for her to hear you if you can't find it. Because she's going to have to hear you talking through your Bluetooth device in order to react to that command.
Good point. Yeah, I was going to bring that up. If you have an AirPod that's also has a built-in microphone, then yeah, exactly what Randy just said. You know, if you just
There's
drop it, be sure not to walk away. Just stay where you are to be able to allow that Bluetooth the AirPod or whatever it is to be able to also hear you, because that's where the microphone is.
Liz.
Liz, go ahead.
Yes, if you're in the location where you lost your earbud, well, that happens to me a lot. I turn the volume on my phone real loud and have it start music or bard or something that's going to talk or make noise, and then I just kind of curl around until I hear something and find it that way. Because you can, if you turn your phone up real loud, you have music or like a book reading or something like that. Generally, I can find it that way if I stay put where I lost it. If you move, then yeah, you have to search the whole house by hand. Please, thank you.
All right.
This is
So I assume you're just wearing one headphone then. If you lose it and you're not hearing it through the second one.
This is Liz. Yeah, I only use one at a time.
Yeah.
That way one's always charged.
Right. Did I hear somebody else? And this will be the last comment on this topic. We'll move on.
This is Ed.
Yeah, go ahead, Ed.
Yeah, if you've got a second earbud, can't you just use that to hear your phone? And then just a thought, like just get the other earbud.
Yeah, sometimes you can do that. Sometimes it won't. But all right. So good luck with that, Rosetta. Yeah, several good comments there to help you.
Yes, this Rosetta, yes. I had the Octoshock, so it was just that one piece. But yes, thank you for all those suggestions. I'll put them to use in the future. I appreciate it.
Very good. All right, we still have a few minutes. Oh, we got lots of time, 15 minutes. What do we say? A couple more questions thrown in here. And remember, we're not going to be here next week. We're taking Memorial Day off. So if you were waiting to ask your question next week, you will have to wait another week after that.
Question?
Does it?
Okay, this is Annie.
Okay, I heard it. Sorry, go ahead.
So my email box, I have an email that I want to put it in one of the folders, and like move it to a folder. And for some reason, when I get to that folder, it's a grayscaled. I can't put it in there. What does that mean? And I thought maybe the folder is full, so I opened it up and delete some stuff. But no, it's still. It wouldn't put it. It wouldn't want to put it. Let me put it in that folder.
Okay. Anybody have any ideas for
This is Pete.
Yeah, Pete.
I was wondering, Annie, do you have more than one mail account, like a Gmail and then a Yahoo or something like that? Do you have more than one?
No, I just have the one.
Just the Gmail?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And yeah, and it's like the day before I was able to put an email in it. And then I went and looked at the other folders to see if they were like all grayscaled or whatever. But no, it was just that one.
This is Terry.
Go ahead, Terry.
You're saying grayscale. Do you mean grayed out?
Yes, that means
Okay.
would not take it. Yeah.
Right, grayed out.
Grayed out.
Have
Okay.
you tried turning off your iPhone and then turning it back on? Just in case there's something
It's going
on
crazy.
and that might clear up the problem.
No, I did not try to do that, but I will. That's an idea.
This is Herbie.
Go ahead.
Which method are you using to move the email message?
Just by when it says more and I go until it says like forward new message until it says move to a new mailbox. I mean, yeah, move to
When you try
not
doing it
mailbox. Yeah.
Okay, so then when you move to the new mailbox, then the mailbox itself is graded out, or the
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
Have you tried to go to that mailbox just like regularly in your list of mailboxes?
Was I able to open that full?
Like if you try to open that folder in general just to look at the messages in there, are you able to do that normally, or is that also graded out?
No, I was able to open it and look inside of it because I went, I opened it and deleted. I thought maybe it's full.
Right.
I couldn't put any more email, and I was, but
sorry. Okay. One final thought that I have is: have you tried the edit menu where you, instead of doing it from the message being open, you go to edit and you select the message, and then there's the move button at the bottom. Have you tried doing it that way?
No. What is that button in the bottom? You said
there's like a move button. Unless I made
move.
major changes since the last time I did this, there should be, like, if you go to the, so you know where you go to the top and you got the list of messages and you got the edit button. If you go in there and you see your list of messages, you can select it. So select a message by doing a double tap. And then at the bottom should be buttons like move, delete, whatnot. And so your move button should be there. And I'm wondering if it'll let you move it that way.
Okay, I will. I mean, yeah. It was just, you think that will open that box, will open that folder? Okay, I'll try.
Liz? Okay, it's called now the select button. Okay, not the edit.
This is Marty.
Okay, Marty.
Yeah, I think what Herbie's trying to say, you're going into the more actions button, and you're using the move in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, instead of doing it there, I always use the move button. And what mailbox are you trying to move it to? I'm wondering if there are certain mailboxes you cannot move a message to. Like you might not be able to move it to send or drafts, that kind of thing.
No, it was it was a folder that I had it called iBUG today. So I was trying to move one of the emails into iBUG today because I keep all the iBUG today folders in the same emails in the same folder. And I'm always, able to until this one it says it's grayscale. It's gray. I mean, wouldn't go in it. And then it just would stay in my general email. But I'm looking at it now, trying to see.
Well, yeah, I go with Herbie's suggestion and try the move. In other words, don't go into more actions. Next to more actions, there's a move button, and use that and see if that will work.
Liz?
I'll try that.
Okay, Liz, go ahead.
That happened to me. Before I had a folder and then I had subfolders under the folder, and the folder itself got moved, and so the subfolders became folders, if you understand what I'm saying. And one of those was grayed out, and so I can't move anything into that particular folder anymore. So I had to make a new folder with the same name, but adding like a period or something at the end to do that, since that folder, once it got grayed out, I couldn't get it to be active anymore. But it had something to do with drag or something. So once it went gray, I couldn't figure out a way to get it ungray, unless the Apple accessibility can help with that. That's the only thing I can think of.
Okay.
I'll try those different couple options. Thank you very much.
Linda.
Yeah, Linda, go ahead.
For me, after I hit the move button, then you have to go to the top and hit the back button and then go to your folder.
Okay.
Sounds like we need
this is Ed.
Do a bite on some of these. Okay, go ahead, Ed. This is the last comment on this.
Yeah, Annie, did you say you hit move to new folder? Because if it said
whatever it said, move.
it just said move. Okay.
Yeah.
Because if it said move to new folder, then you're asking it to put it in a new folder. So you'd have to open a new folder. But if you're just hitting move, and instead of opening more, I forget who said it, but it just go over to where it just says move. And then if it's common, if it sees that you put that into that address into the same folder before, it will suggest that folder, and if not, just keep swiping and it'll go to whatever one you choose, or it should.
Yeah, sometimes it will suggest this when I'm doing like I was moving my itinerary and I have a few of them, whatever, and it was just that's each time I want to move on, it will say events right away. So I was putting it right in the event. Well, I have 2-3 options. I'll try them. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay. And I would probably try the reboot of the phone first.
Yes, I was thinking of that too.
All right, very good. Still got time for one more question maybe here. Who wants to have the last question of the night?
This is Jody.
Jody.
Does anyone know of an accessible hearing test app? I've tried several, but they don't work with voiceover.
Okay. Hearing test app.
This is Herbie.
Yeah, Herbie.
Jody, do you have the AirPods Pro series?
No, I don't, and that's kind of my first step. Is I thought I would do the test first and see, because I was thinking about getting the AirPod Pro 2.
Because they have this is Herbie. They have a built-in. In fact, I think that we did an iBug Cafe on that. So that might be a good resource. That unfortunately, it involves actually, getting the things, but that might Well, I mean, somebody might know of another software solution. I don't know, but that's definitely an accessible one that I'm aware of is having the AirPods Pro. So I just thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, thank you.
This is
So,
Marcia.
Go ahead, Marcia.
Well, Jody, sometimes my earbuds fall out or whatever. And what I really love is I got the shocks and they do it by bone conduction. And I'm just wondering if that would help people who can't hear because it's going through a different system.
Yeah, I really, this is Jody.
Go ahead.
I think I've got limited high frequency, which is typical when you get older. But I was mostly curious. I really don't know if I have a problem, but I was just curious to give it a try.
All right. And with that, we got time for one more quick one. Sorry, I wasn't watching the time.
This is John.
All right, John, go ahead.
So to Jody's point, I wonder if you could go to Apple and let them kind of persuade them into letting you test the hearing aid test feature.
This is Jody.
Yeah, Jody.
That's part of the Apple Pro 2. Yeah, it's part of the AirPods themselves. I don't think it's a feature of it's separate. So you'd have to get the AirPods first. But
Yeah,
I just wondered if anybody had played with anything like that.
Yeah, I like John's idea. Just go into the Apple Store or Best Buy, wherever, and ask them if they could show you, do a demo of the AirPods.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Get them to do the hearing test as part of the demo.
Oh, we haven't got a store near here.
Okay.
Yeah, we're on
This is Sri.
All right, Sri, and this will definitely be the last comment. Go ahead.
And not to be a party pooper there, but listening to Carla's presentation, I think you have to do that in a very quiet area for that test.
Yes, that's true. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, it'd be hard at the Apple Store then.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up with that. Thank you, everyone. What great questions people had and lots of good answers. Appreciate everyone's participation with all of this tonight. And again, just a reminder of a few announcements. Tomorrow we've got Mac Buzz, 5 p.m. Central. Wednesday night, Android Insight, our one and only Android related, covering all Android, smartphones, tablets, Echo, Amazon devices, Google devices, all that good stuff. Pretty much any kind of smart device you have in your home, other than HomePods, is probably going to be a Google device. So that's Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central. Then we have Friday night, our movie night, and this week we're doing a Hitchcock, Strangers on a Train from 1951. So come again at as early as 7:15 for the pre-movie social time. We'll start the movie up around 8. And immediately following the movie, we do have a discussion and trivia. And then Saturday is a big Saturday. 14 years of iBUG, our big celebration. We'll be that'll be just a fun time of different games, entertainment. And of course, we'll find out who the big winner of our $500 tech shopping spree is. And by the way, you still have time to enter if you haven't already, or if you want to grab a few more tickets. $10 will get you into the drawing. Up your chances, get 6 tickets for $50. All of the information on how to enter, well, email went out this past weekend that has it in there, and also on our website, iBUG Today, or ibugtoday.org is our website. Then Monday, reminder, we will not be here next Monday. If you dial in, you'll be sitting in the waiting room for a while and finally figure out, oh, they're not having a meeting tonight. So don't do that. And everybody that's not here that usually comes will do that, and they will have to just find out the hard way. So with that, I want to thank everyone again. And we've got now After Buzz coming up immediately. And I believe Deb is going to be the facilitator for that.